Hey Decide Your Destiny crew, Spyrides here. Thanks for joining me for another Decide Your Destiny Daily Dose. Decide to step out into chaos with confidence. I'm in Hanoi, Vietnam, and one of the things you'll notice behind me is there's lots and lots of activity on the roads. Not necessarily ordered activity. There's no robots, there's no lanes, there's no exorbitant fines if you don't follow and stay in between the lines, and if you don't stay to the rules and to the law. And so with that chaos, there's beauty in chaos, there's organization in order. And so with that chaos, you have to learn how to actually flow with it. Chaos is sometimes very beautiful, and it's actually, it creates energy, it creates flow. It's the natural order of this planet. Is things happen not necessarily in perfect order, but in a chaotic, energetic, flowing way. And so these streets are overflowing with bicycles, with scooters, with cars, with buses, with people, with everything, as you can see behind me. And one of the things you learn quickly here is that when you're walking across the street, you must maintain your consistent pace at which you stepped out into the street. You have to realize that cars won't stop for you. Motorcycles will. And the motorcycles, 80% of this country, 80% of the vehicles are motorcycles. There's a lot more motorcycles, scooters, a lot more scooters. So scooters will actually maneuver around you. They're much better drivers than elsewhere. And so what you need to realize is, because they're much better drivers than in the West, they know how to maneuver. They know how to move around an old lady who's carrying produce from one side of the street to the other and something's fallen. They know how every day they're actually training. Necessity breeds that ingenuity. Necessity breeds that upskilling. And so when you're over here, you realize that, all right, these guys are great at maneuvering around. So what you need to do to look after yourself, okay, and make it from one side of the street to the other, and there's so many philosophical elements here that I won't dive too deep into, but you cross the street at the pace that you started crossing the street. If you change your pace, if you deviate off course, deviate off plan, then you could actually find yourself in a bit of a pickle. But you need to stay consistent. I'm going to walk across the street slow, I'm going to walk across fast, I'm going to walk across medium, but I'm going to stay at this pace, because they'll maneuver around you. And so when you're stepping out into chaos, you step out confidently. You don't change your pace, you don't stop and worry, but you're aware, you're conscious of, okay, there's a car, the car isn't going to stop for me, but you've got to step out with confidence, okay? And it's probably daunting for a lot of people, and it's daunting at the start to get used to. But when you learn how to do it, you start trusting the chaos, and you start working out how to flow with that chaos. And those natural instincts, those natural elements that you have within you actually kick into gear. So guys, remember, step out into chaos with confidence, with surety, with that power, those instincts, that inner knowing. Step out into chaos with confidence. And remember, as always, decide your destiny. Cheers.